Now we're getting real close to the Mexican border here, and haven't been down here for a while. It's pretty nasty. These great rock formations, incredible. Love these quads, man. Your quads will go anywhere. That can get you in trouble, though. Take you places where you don't need to be. All right, I got a little bit of adventure for you today. We're going to go search for some of Pancho Villa's gold and silver. And no, I'm not messing with you. I got about 40 hours of research into just this one tip. And we're going to climb that mountain. You can see it kind of in the middle of the screen, top left of your screen right here. It doesn't look like much from here, but it's going to take another hour just to get to the base of the mountain on my quad. And the road's washed out in a couple of places. I got a late start. It's only 10:30. It's already 95 degrees. It's probably going to be 100 degrees before I get to the top. And I got a lot of factors working against me right now. One thing, I got to worry about heat stroke. I'm probably going to have to carry about probably 7 or 8 pounds of water, bare minimum. This is serious rattlesnake country and time of year for rattlesnakes. And you can't see it right here on this flat spot right over here. About a year and a half ago, they medevaced a guy out, a hunter that was rattlesnake bit, and it was not a pretty sight. So I have to be really well aware of that. And contrary to popular belief, the older rattlesnakes do not always rattle. So I really got to pay attention going up that mountain. Now, Pancho Villa, go ahead and do your own research. Pancho Villa was a very well known and well documented Mexican revolutionary, almost overthrew the government of Mexico, tried to. And the way he financed his war was hopping back and forth across the border, robbing wealthy property owners, landlords, dons and American ranchers. That's how he would rob the Mexicans and jump back into the American side, and he'd rob the Americans and jump back into the Mexican side. And he was right in this section of the Mexican border right here. A lot of activity. And the tip that I've got is from one of the guys in his gang that supposedly was one of the last members of the gang that buried 7 bags of silver coin and some gold bullion on one of these 4 peaks in this little range. He gave a description of where he was based on the little cities that he could see from the top of the mountain. We've done our research. Last week, my treasure hunting partner and I climbed one of the 4 peaks, spent all day up there, and we found some old coins, but not old enough to be from that era, so we eliminated that peak. But I mean, I've done enough research that I'm convinced that it's real, that there's some money buried in here somewhere. And all these old timers buried their money. The ranchers, they didn't go into the bank to stash their money, and they were under constant threat of either being robbed by guys like Pancho Villa or the Apaches constantly. So they buried a lot of their treasure. It's just a matter of researching it and narrowing it down to where it is. So we're going to go ahead and climb that peak and see if we can find some silver and gold. And one other thing I've got going against me is that this is also a heavy drug trafficking area through here. And these cartel guys, these cartel animals are nasty ass people. And they just as soon shoot you as look at you. And guess what? They use all of these peaks for lookouts. And they're up there with their cell phone or even their sat phone, and they're monitoring Border Patrol to see where the Border Patrol guys are. Whenever we go up to the top of these peaks, we always find a little encampment and a bunch of extra food and trash up there. And it's not just from average, migrant workers coming back and forth across the border. So I got to be seriously concerned about that. And in this long hike, I don't want to carry my usual heavy-duty 40 caliber pistol, and all I've got today is I've got this little ankle holster with a 380 on the back of it. That's my only self-defense. So let's get to it and have some fun. All right, that peak right there in the middle of the screen is the one that we climbed last week. No luck. We were up there all day. Took us 3 hours up, 3 hours down. It was grueling, really hot, not as hot as it is today. And that's the one that I'm going up today. It's right next to it. Fits the same description that was given by the Pancho Villa gang member as to where he buried the loot. There's 4 of the mountains that fit the same description, and I'm going to hit that one today.
Que falta que hace que reviva Pancho Villa. Que falta que hace que reviva Pancho Villa.